Hi everyone, welcome back to Purple House Talk with Piet and Grada. We're the co-owners of a successful wellness center in Fort in Tasmania, and every week we spend about 20 minutes with our audience or with you, with everyone who wants to hear it, just sharing some topics and health tips that empower you to look after your own health, to give you a better chance to live longer, stronger. And yeah, Peter's clearing his throat because today we're going to talk about the thyroid, which is like a butterfly-shaped organ that sits in your neck area. And if the weather gets cold, you start to feel a change in your body. That often can make your thyroid feel overworked and underpaid. The thyroid and the liver are probably the two most overworked, underpaid organs in your whole body. And if you struggle with thyroid issues, I'll just quickly explain what you're going to notice. You're going to feel you can't get out of bed in the morning, you always feel tired, you feel the cold, you might have dry skin, your hormones are not working, they're all over the place, you're not motivated.
Thinning hair.
Yeah, you lose your hair or thinning of the hair. You can even lose whole patches of hair. The thyroid often sometimes goes overworked, so it goes crazy, and then it goes underworked, so it swings up and down. We can talk about that in a minute. Okay, you lose your libido, you get chronic fatigue and aches and pains, and also, of course, the most common problem is that people stack on the weight, especially women, like weight gain for absolutely no obvious reason, right?
It sets your metabolism, so
that's right.
Yeah, if it's not working properly, then yeah, you'll gain weight
a lot of the time, right? So we're going to give you some reasons why this is happening in a nutshell. And then we're also going to give you some tips what you can do to improve your thyroid. So the first things first, you need to drink water, okay? So we are 70% water basically. When we're born, we're 90% water. When we die, we're 60% water. So you can see the aging process as a slow drying up process that you can actually reverse by drinking more water. And so go to the tap after you watch this and have a nice big drink of water. Here's somebody, Peter is on desk duty, so he has to go. Do you want to say goodbye?
Okay, I'll see you a bit later.
Okay, because we're open on Mondays now, and we have a receptionist, but she's on a holiday today. So Pete is taking on desk duty because he's a really good with numbers and all the details, and I'm not such a good smart desk person. All right, so water is super important. I mean, I dehydrated some of my pot plants during the summertime, and then I overwatered them, and then they died. So we can do this with our body as well. We need to make sure that we consistently drink good, clean, pure water, right? And Pete and I, we've always had filtered water, like we've had filtered water from expensive filters for decades already, because we found that was important, because some of our clients work at the water treatment plants and where the water is treated for the council water, so they're council workers. And some of those people refuse to drink the water that comes out of the tap because they know what goes in it, right? So our water has fluoride, it has chloride, and many other toxins, heavy metal toxicity. They're all highly detrimental to your thyroid. And this is the reason, in my opinion, why 80% of Australians, especially in Tasmania, have weakened thyroids, okay? So click on the link on the article below to check out the water filter that I'm talking about. We've recently upgraded to one that's even better, and Pete and I, we actually do feel fantastic. We notice the difference in our bodies. Or call our reception on the number, on the Purple House number. So that's number one. Number two is you need adequate minerals. So minerals, I'm talking about Himalayan salt. Now there's a lot of information online about the pros and the cons of Himalayan salt. I won't go into that now. I just want you to know that we have recommended Himalayan salt to our clients for something like 25 years now, right? Since the inception of the Purple House. And we only ever get like appreciation and gratitude back from our clients to say like, I was doing everything right, but I wasn't having enough salt. Thank you so much for informing us about the proper usage of salt. So how much salt do you need to take per day? Well, you work out your weight. So we usually recommend 1/4 teaspoon per 30 kilos. So if you weigh 90 kilos, you roughly need 3/4 teaspoon. You may as well make it a teaspoon of salt sprinkled in your drinking water or over your food, and your thyroid will absolutely love you for it. So unrefined salt has all the minerals in it that your body needs in just the right proportion. That's the reason why you feel so much better when you've been to the hospital, you're admitted, and they hook you up to a saline drip, which is just salt water, right? And you immediately start to feel a lot better. So you can hook yourself up to a saline drip by just drinking water with added salt to it, healthy salt. The thyroid is a potassium-driven organ, so if you get low in potassium, you're also going to feel the effects of not having a fully, not a strong thyroid. So potassium, I'm not going to say eat bananas because people immediately think, oh, I'm going to eat bananas. No, we don't recommend that you eat bananas at all. In fact, in different zoos around the world, they stopped giving bananas to monkeys because it was giving monkeys ADHD and all sorts of degenerative diseases. So you get potassium from your unrefined salt, and if you still need more potassium, you can have maca powder as well, right? Maca powder is like a root, vegetable or herb or whatever, comes in powder form or tablets. We have it online and it gives you energy. And it supports your thyroid, it supports your entire hormonal structure. Now, when you read the article, it's a fairly lengthy article, that take your time reading it. We're talking about lots of different hormones, but your thyroid is key. It's basically the boss, right? If your thyroid isn't working properly, the rest of your hormones are just going to be all over the place. Now, I just want to say this, if you're a woman and your thyroid isn't working properly, you can experience erratic moods and all the rest. What else? All the stuff that I've already told you, like, but if a guy suffers from like low thyroid, they often just become very, very quiet and what's the word I'm thinking of, Peter? Withdrawn, I guess. So they stop connecting with the outside world. They start to withdraw. So that can be a sign of an underworking thyroid as well. And so the thyroid needs support, needs to come back on board. You need to do everything that you can do so that if you're a guy watching this, or if I'm talking about your boyfriend or your spouse, the healing needs to happen from the inside out. All right. So I've covered water, bananas that you shouldn't eat, and random stuff. We already talked about all the bad oils, but just in case you're listening to us for the first time, polyunsaturated oils that are everywhere, they're absolutely in everything on the supermarket shelf. All processed food. All the things that you think that are healthy, just look on the label, like even dips and cheeses and like spreadable butter and all this. It's called polyunsaturated oil. That's absolute killer to your body, but especially your hormones. So they need to be avoided at all costs. And it takes your body a number of years even to get rid of those polyunsaturated oils. So that will be a slow process of regenerating your cell membranes with healthy oils. And healthy oils are butter, coconut oil. Coconut oil is really, really good for your thyroid. Ghee and meat fats, basically. We used to say olive oil, but olive oil has been tampered with a lot of the time. We can't guarantee that olive oil on the supermarket shelves is good for you.
Macadamia nut oil really is the only good runny oil that you can get.
Yeah, so just get used to like organic butter. You can buy that from Woolies or a supermarket or health food shop, it's not a lot more expensive. And then, well, hopefully you have a guarantee that it hasn't got hormones in it, or other pesticides, you know. When I talk about butter, eat lots of butter. So like you can cut it up into little cubes and put it in the freezer for a while so they set, and then instead of lollies you have butter, right? So here I just want to go on about sugar now too. Like sugar is found in absolutely everything, including all fruit juices. They're so toxic to your body, including your thyroid. So if you have fruit juices in the fridge, I recommend just chuck it down the gurgler, because you're poisoning yourself with the sugar overload.
We normally can eat 1 or 2 oranges, but we could drink the juice of probably 10 or 12. So we're getting an overload of sugar.
You mean in the fruit juice?
In
yeah.
juices, fruit
but
juices.
Actually,
yeah.
Our body can only handle 4 teaspoons of sugar per day, and that is the combination of everything. Like, for instance, 1 piece of toast is like 6 teaspoons of sugar, right? A banana is 9 teaspoons of sugar. A potato is something like 8 teaspoons of sugar. A bowl of rice can convert into 30 teaspoons of sugar.
That's what our body can make from those high starch carbohydrates. Yeah.
And that's not a good thing, right? That's bad, because as I said, to stay healthy, you don't need, or you shouldn't have more than 4 teaspoons per day.
And you don't get fat with fats. You don't convert the fats you eat into stored fat. We convert the excess sugars into stored fat.
So that's right. So sugar molecules deplete you of magnesium, deplete you. They're so destructive to your hormones. You can see it in little kids, right? If you give your kids, or whoever, you go to a party, the kids are absolutely crazy. Well, we know different, because they're crazy because of all the the sugars the rubbish that they eat. But then people think, oh yeah, well, they have a fruit break at school, right? A fruit break in the morning. That's already hypes the kids up. They're better off having little fat bombs or something like that. So you can look online now. There are heaps of really good recipes where you can make little fat bombs. They're called fat bombs for your children, and you give that to yourself, and that supports your thyroid. All right, so plastics.
Did you mention about the plastics in water?
Oh no, do you want to say that?
Well, we've got a water
I told them that.
plant board. Yeah, those guys, they don't drink the water because they know what goes in it. But then they go and buy bottled water and drink that from plastic bottles. Now, if you drink water from a plastic bottle all the time, every week you'd be
equivalent.
It'd be equivalent to absorbing the amount of plastic from a credit card every week.
The size of a credit card.
The size of a credit card. So and those plastics are hormone disruptors. They disrupt all the hormones, both male and female. They're floating in our oceans. That's why we say have Himalayan salt rather than today sea salt as well.
And don't eat fish, we used to say. People believed fish was good, but it isn't, because it's also full of mercury and other heavy metal toxins. By the way, I know it sounds all very, very negative, but we're going to go on about the good stuff. If you feel like this is you're listening to it and you think, yeah, this is me, and I really feel out of kilter, and you go to the doctor and it comes back like everything comes back normal, I want you to know it's not normal. And please do booking for sessions with Peter Me, so that we can, in one session, you can already, like, you walk in feeling your old version, like who you are today, and you're already a new version by the time you leave the purple house, because we can change everything, like with energy medicine. So we practice a lot of energy medicine, which means we can clear the toxins, dissolve them from your body energetically speaking, and then put in healthy, or your body, I should say, allows healthy energy to flow back to all the different parts of your body. It's a bit like if you're an instrument, let's say you play the guitar, it needs a tune-up every night or at least once a week if you use it all the time, right? Otherwise the sound is not going to be good. Or the car, you take your car to a car mechanic or what is a car electrician. That's what Pete and I do. We tune your body up so that it works properly again. And people are amazed how they just can't even remember that they ever felt like that, because we can prime you back up to your highest, most happy version of yourself. Hormones create happiness, you know that probably, but just in case you didn't know that, our happiness relies on the happy hormones that your body releases, and there's 5 main ones that I won't go into. But if your hormones are up the creek, you can't feel excited, you can't feel happy. It's just like you're living under a cloud, or you're living, it's always rainy, go inside your brain, right? So we need to cut through all that quickly to get you back into a happier grounds. Alright, so in the article you'll also find like the Dirty Dozen list of the worst endocrine disruptors, so you can read it yourself. So some of them are like what's also found, by the way, in your shampoos and your deodorants. And some of the worst toxins are fragrance, candles, or what I...
The word fragrance, if that's on any substance you buy, then don't use it, because they're toxic substances.
Yeah, so they're everywhere. You go into like a nice, what is it, homeware decor shop, and they are the worst hormone disruptors. Sometimes they put fragrant oils in tissues or in all kinds of personal wear. It's super toxic. They say it's even way more toxic than smoking, way more detrimental. So avoid fragrant products. If you have them in your house, they must go. You must check them out straight away, right? To give yourself a chance, or your children. It also creates ADHD in your brain. You just can't concentrate. Alright, so your gallbladder, liver, the gallbladder liver system, it sits under your right rib cage, and the thyroid work together. They have a very close-knit feedback mechanism. So if your thyroid is sluggish, your liver and gallbladder are not going to work as well as they should. And then in turn, you're not getting the nutrients out of your food, like especially the minerals that your thyroid needs. And then the thyroid gets worse as well. So there's that looping back all the time that your body just can't, it's behind the 8 ball and can't get back on board. So we highly recommend iodine. I mean, Pete and I, we would never dare to live our life without iodine.
Our soils are totally deficient of iodine, and
yeah, it's a big secret. Like we discovered it in 2006. Sorry.
But when I was young, every child in primary school had to have a drink of milk every day, and in that was iodine, because the government knows that everyone needs to be taking iodine in Tasmania, but I'd say in lots of different parts of the world. Every
cell of your body needs iodine, not just the thyroid. And in parts of the world like China, there was a big China study done where there was a huge area that was iodine deficient, and each generation was more, well, what's the word, handicapped. So they couldn't,
smaller brains,
low IQ
frames,
and sick. And so what the government did, they started to introduce iodine in the irrigation system, and it was less than 10 years before the population of those areas fully recovered and the babies were healthy again. So that's the beauty. Your body does want you to have a good life, you know. It wants you to be the best version of you, but we have to wisen up and remove toxins from our lifestyle.
It's needed for brain development, so women who are thinking of becoming pregnant need to be on it before they...
Well, what about guys
become pregnant, and guys who supply
the sperm?
The sperm, they need to be on it as well to have good...
Because recently I studied some research that was done on sperm. So the guy's sperm is needed all the time, right? I think it was...
But the baby's brain needs iron.
I know,
that's what
true,
I was saying. Yeah.
But I guess talking about sperm, the study showed that couples don't realize how important the sperm is when it comes to infertility and having a healthy baby. And actually 3/4 of the problems that babies are experiencing today, like with premature or all those complications during pregnancy and infancy, are attributed to the guy's sperm. And it's so easy. That's the point I want to make. If you think of having a baby, please start supplementing now and remove toxins from your body, because you have new sperm. I think it's every 3 months or something like that. So do what you can to give your offspring the very best chance. But actually, the article said the finger gets pointed to the women. So I'm not talking about blame and shaming here, but for the women, you're already born with your ovaries, right? But it's true what Peter said. You're born with your eggs, but when you are pregnant and before pregnancy and for the rest of your life, keep taking iodine.
And when your children are born, they still need it as well.
You just put one little drop on their tummy, right?
On
That's
their skin.
enough.
It'll absorb in.
Mm-hmm. All right, so beet flow, we can't recommend that highly enough. That keeps your liver gallbladder system working, so it keeps flowing. So there's that flow that we're talking about needs to be restored when it's like this stuckness.
That gets rid of the toxins out of your body, so everything else can be in a good environment, good internal environment. But those toxins that the liver gets rid of, that's what digests the fats as well, which we need for good hormonal production.
Yeah.
Actually, we need a lot of fat and cholesterol.
I mean, we can talk about this all day, and we'll revisit it again. But if you go to our website, thepurplehousenaturaltherapies.com, you see all these free ebooks. You can click on the link and download them for free. There's more there. We just got these printed out. There's a hormonal one as well that will tell you absolutely everything, right? So I'm just hearing somebody else in the reception, so you might have to go again. The other thing that you need to be wary of is like sanitizing products are hormone disruptors. Even a harmless wipe, so like say when your baby's born and you wipe the bottoms, lots of people do that, they have baby wipes. They are also hormone disruptors. So our hormones are just being squashed, eroded and sprayed on basically and wiped away with everything, right? So we just really have to give our bodies the best chance to healing. And I'm actually so grateful that Peter and I do energy medicine as well as we inform you. But then if you find like, well, I've been feeling crook for so long now, I need a quick pick me up, I need help, please do book yourself in with Peter and me, and we just call it a diagnostic session, because the reason we call it like that is because you come in to the clinic, you rock up, or we do it over the phone. We meet you where you're at, so most of the time you have to also fill in a questionnaire, and then we can usually tell, oh yeah, we start to already see a pattern with you. And then Peter, he specializes in the full health audit, which is a very extensive 2-hour session with Pete, where he really takes a good look under the bonnet of the car, and he finds all your weak links and also what works well and what needs supported, and it's very personalized. Peter also does energy medicine, and so do I. So I usually, when my client walks in, or usually already before they arrive, I've already been told what your weak links are if you're my client, or where your energies are blocked. And I can also, of course, tell that by looking into your body, because that sounds a bit spooky, but it's called energy medicine. There's nothing spooky about it, because I'm very, very practical and grounded as a person.
Your body gives the feedback. The answers in your body.
Mm-hmm. Your body starts talking to me straight away the second you sit in the chair. So like lots of times people come to me and they say, well, I've been sent by my husband, or sent by my wife, or my mother wants me to come here, or my neighbor, and I don't really know. I don't perhaps even want to be here. Sometimes people say that, but it doesn't matter, because your body is already talking to me. So it's like, then we can clear the stresses and the traumas. Everyone has trauma in the body. Everyone. If you're listening to me now, you also have trauma in your body. And trauma has a dehydrating effect on every cell of your body, and trauma, repressed trauma, is one of the most powerful hormone disruptors as well. So everyone really needs trauma release sessions regularly, like at least I would say once every 2 months. You know, that would be really, really good. And then you can be your best version and be happy all the time and make a comeback, you know, like you can bounce back, because life will hit you over the head sometimes. You can come back faster. So it's all written in this article. And
we'll add information on a really good water filter that we've invested in as well for ourselves, and you can see it if you come into the clinic, but it's
all the information.
It'll turn your health around as well, the water from that.
Because actually your bones are also like 70% water, right? And if you drink toxic water, like you are going to recreate a toxic body. That's also another big problem. I told you, Pete and I, we've always had water filters for many years, even when the kids were younger and we were really struggling financially. We bought expensive water filters. So over the years, we've done a lot of research, and we have recently found one that's really, really good. We've been experimenting with it now for a few months already and looking at our own blood to see how good it looks. And so please click on the link and check it out for yourself and connect with us if you are curious or you want to know more, you just simply want some more information. Feel free to give us a ring. Thanks everyone.
Okay.
Hope you find this interesting. Stay strong and have a really wonderful week. Bye. For now.